Hey, thank you for joining me today. I'm Julie Williams, Senior Sales Director with Mary Kay. I'm excited to be with you today. Listen, I've been asked by several people to take a few minutes to share with you a little bit about what I have done in tweaking and adjusting and making the 21-day booking challenge work for me personally. If you have not heard of the 21-day booking challenge, I wanted to just take a few minutes and give you a little quick background on what it is, and then I'm going to take you through the tweaks and changes that I have made. Now, first of all, let me say, if you have heard of this and you have been using it and it's been working for you, do not make changes. Stick to what you know and stick to what you know is working for you. So do not make changes if this system is working for you. However, I will tell you that when I first started to do this, it was a little frustrating to me and it was a little hard for me to keep up with everything. And so I needed to, for the lack of a better word, dumb it down a little bit and make it a little bit simpler for me to be able to keep up with things. And I am old school. I know there's a lot of technology and there's a lot of ways out there to do things through technology, but I'm a pen and paper kind of girl and I like to be able to look at things, physically touch things. Now, let me tell you real quick what the 21-day booking challenge is. It is not my original creation. I am not the creator. I don't even know who the official creator was. I will tell you that the scripts that I use, I give kudos and praises to Leah Carter. They're Leah Carter scripts. At least that's what they have been told to me, that they're Leah Carter scripts. I just want to give the right acknowledgement that the people that deserve that acknowledgement. But I will tell you what I have done with the system. But what is the 21-day booking challenge? It's basically, well, first of all, it gets its name from 21 days. From research and studies have shown that it takes 21 days to create a new habit. But what we are finding in today's society, because we're such a microwave, got to do it now kind of society, it's really taken us about 66 days to create a new booking or a new habit. Well, if you came to me and told me I had to do something for 66 days to create a new habit, I might give you a little bit of pushback on that because it's a little bit harder than I think I want to go for 66 days, or at least willing to commit from the very beginning. So we're going to stick to 21 days and then you just repeat. So it's 21, repeat, 21, repeat. That is more exciting to me today. So I just want to tell you what we're going to be doing is you're going to take a group of 30 leads. You'll start with a minimum of 30 leads. If you do not have 30 leads in your possession, you need to spend the next 3 to 5 days getting out there, getting as many leads as you can, minimum of 10 a day, so that you can have 30 leads in your possession. Now, the other piece of this is that you're not just going to use those 30 leads. You're going to need more leads from there. So you need to continue doing your lead generation, whether it's through warm chat or facial boxes, work in booths, whether it's getting referrals from your customers, from your facials, whatever it takes, you've got to continue having an influx of leads. But it takes a minimum of 30 leads to start this process. Then what you're going to do is you're going to contact those leads. There are 2 methods of contact each time you contact them. So by the time you are finished contacting them, you will have contacted them 6 different times on 2 different methods. You'll be calling and texting. So 6 contacts, 2 different methods. Now, there are some times through this process that you might need to contact more according to what communication you're getting back from them, or whether you just called this person, or whether you didn't have their phone number was a home number instead of a cell phone number. You may have to do all phone calls. So you've got to kind of tweak it as you go with each individual person. But the reason we're contacting these people as many times as we are is because research has shown that, 48% of people give up on their first attempt. So you get a lead, you call them one time, you never call them back, and you never try again. But what we're finding is that it takes 81% of the time when you contact people 5 or more times, they will get back with you. Now, I can't promise you they're going to book with you, but 81% of the time, they're either going to get back and tell you, I'm not interested, please don't contact me anymore. They're going to say, get back with me, contact me later. Or they're going to say, yes, 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 please, 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 let's get this booked. I'm so sorry, life's been crazy, okay? 81% of the time. I think I would bank on those odds, okay? So just wanted to mention those to you as well. But we are working and creating a new habit towards your personal bookings. Now, let me do a couple of clarifications with you because I have had several people ask me these questions since I've started kind of doing some training on this. So I want to say it all up front. This is for your booking attempts. Yes, you can use this method to do a follow-up rotation for your customers. Yes, directors, you can do this as follow-up communication with your consultants. You can use this system however you want to be able to contact people over a rotating time frame. But what I'm specifically speaking to you about today is 10 personal booking attempts a day. 10 personal booking attempts a day. Usually if you follow the rules of the averages, the third, a third, a third, a third you're never going to hear back from, a third will tell you no, I'm not interested, and the third will book. I am finding that those numbers are very consistent in what I have done through this booking revolution for me, okay? So now let's get to the nuts and bolts. What tweaks did I make through this process, and what materials do you need? Well, first of all, you need a index box, okay? Mine is a smaller index box. I wanted something small that would fit on my desk, those kind of things. You can go for the bigger boxes if you want the bigger box. It's totally up to you. I just picked up a small box because I'm cheap and it was a cheaper one, okay? The next thing that I did is I purchased index tabs that go 1 through 31. So you can see mine go 1 through 31. I bought these at Office Max, Staples, wherever you can buy Office 1 through 31, okay? Then I bought index cards. Now I'm showing you, you see I've got some index cards in here and mine are colorful. Learn from my mistake. When I use up these cards, this round of cards, I'm going back to using white cards. White cards are easier for me because when I start highlighting, I can see them. So this past cycle of index cards, I did not need to use my highlighters through the process because you couldn't see it on the index cards, so it didn't matter. So I'm just telling you a personal quirk of mine. I prefer the white cards through the process. So you need an index box with tabs 1 through 30. Then I have made a couple additional tabs. One of the tabs that I have made, let's get my hands on it, I literally just took an index card and added on a little post-it note tabby that says final attempt, okay? So I just used some of these little tabby things that you can buy. You don't have to go buy them. You can just make another card, however you want to do it. But I made one that said final attempt, and we'll talk about final attempts in a minute. And then from there, I've been sticking some cards back there. Well, I've gotten a lot of feedback from people asking me questions. Did you also buy the month tabs that say January through March, or January through December? For a while, I have not been using that because I can figure it out. I can flip through my cards, know where things need to go. But I decided for training purposes, I did go ahead and create some of these cards for you. I'm going to show you them here. Again, I took a blank index tab and I put little tabbies on it, and I just have March, April, May, and June. Because right now, when people tell me I'm not interested right now, but contact me in a couple of months, I'm not going to go any further than that. So then I can, once I'm done with June, I can go in and do July, August, September. But I just have a few just to start with. And again, these are just index cards with little tabbies on them, okay? So you'll understand what those come into play in a few minutes. But I knew I needed to show you the setup of how the box works. So when you look at my box, I want to see if I can do this without dumping them out because that would not be good. When you see my box, you can see all the tabs sticking up in there. Now, I will tell you the order that I have mine in is 1 through 31. Then the few month tabs, and then the final attempt tab is in the back, okay, at the very, very back. And I'll explain why to that in a minute. Then what you do is you take your index card, and for this video purposes, I have a little bit bigger card so you can see it. But here's my normal size card, and this is the newer card, okay? So for training purposes, here's a card for what I use. As you can see at the top, I write the customer's name and the city she's in, because where I live, I am driving from city to city to city to city. And so I need to know when I'm trying to book where the best places are for me to book. Over here is her phone number, and this is how I met her. Now, it is very important that you write that little piece of information on there of where you met her through the booking process, because once you start rotating these cards through the box, you're not going to be able to keep up with, well, all of these were with this booth over here. And you're going to be calling some people on the first day, second day, third day, and you need to know any information you have. Now, if you met this lady warm chattering, or whether you built a relationship with her, or you know some details about her, like she's got a child and this, that, and the other, you can write this information in there as well. So any information you know about her, just to trigger your memory of what's going on, you can write on this card. So then once you get the card, I'm going to take the card down for a few minutes. Once you get the card set up, the card is ready to go. Then you divide it up, 10, 10, 10. So on day 1, you're going to put 10 cards. Day 2, you're going to put 10 cards. And day 3, you're going to put 10 cards. There'll be nothing else in your box at that point in time. Only day 1, 2, and 3, you're going to have it on there. Now, if you're starting this process in the middle of a month, then you don't put it on day 1, day 2, day 3. You put it on the day of the month that you're calling on. So like if I were starting that today is January 21st, I would put my first 10 leads in the 21 slot, then my next one in the 22, and my next one in the 23, so that your dates in your box match the calendar day. So when it's time for me to make phone calls, I pick out my box, I look at the date, today's the 21st, I go to the 21st to pull out my 21st days, and I know what cards I need to make. So you do that for the first 3 days, dividing your 30 leads into 10, 10, and 10. Once you have those leads divided out, then you are ready to go. But there are a few more pieces of information you need before you're ready to go. You need some booking scripts, which I'm going to post in the link below. 2 different links that you can get to that have these booking scripts from Leah Carta. They're very similar scripts. The words are the same. Just one of them is a little fancier in format than the other. It's totally up to you which one you use. I will tell you that if you want to create your own scripts, that's up to you. But I have found that when it works, why change it? I will tell you the first couple of days of doing this that those scripts didn't feel natural to me. I wanted to add my own little spin and my own little fluff, and my national said, no, 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 stick to the script. So as a sales director, I do what my national tells me, and guess what I do? I stuck to the script. And the scripts work, and the more you use them, the more that you're going to feel comfortable about the script. So I'll come back to those in just a few minutes. The other thing you're going to need is some highlighters if you're the kind of person that likes to have colors on your cards. Now, if you can function without highlighters, great. Don't get them. See how you do. But let me take you through what each one of these colors represents. Yellow is going to represent when you call her, you leave her a message, and she has not replied back. So I call, I forward a text message, and then I highlight her in yellow. Blue is for when she texts you back. If she texts you back, you can go highlight real quick over the yellow at the end of it to blue so that you know she's texted you back, and you can write in any information from that text message that you need. Then pink is if you actually get her booked. You know, Mary Kay time is pink. When you get her booked, you highlight it in pink, okay? Orange and green I have not used as much in my cards because I use it more in my date book, but it's following the process, okay? Orange is for someone that you spoke to, she didn't book, but she wants to book maybe at a later time. So you can mark that on there and then move her to the month where you need to call and do a follow-up. Green is if she's really not interested in booking a party, but she wants to know more about the Mary Kay opportunity, you can highlight it in green for your process, okay? So again, it's yellow, blue, pink, orange, green. Yellow, blue, pink, orange, green. So you'll need some highlighters for the process. Then the last thing that you need is your cell phone and your date book. Now, however, whatever date book works for you, great, use it. I'm not even going to show you my date book because that's another work in progress that I can't ever make up my mind on what I love and what I don't love. You just need a paper date book. The reason you need a paper date book is because when you're on the phone with the person, you need to be able to look at the dates of what you have available, okay? Whether it is your weekly plan sheet for a couple of weeks, whether it's a date book, you need to know when you're willing to work and how you're going to work. Then this is how it happens. You start with your leads. So I am calling Sally customer. Ring, 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 ring. I get her voicemail. This is what I say. Hey, Sally, it's Julie with Mary Kay. I'm calling with some fun news. Listen, I just picked your name as one of my winners from the Enclave booth that we worked the other day. It was so nice meeting you. Hey, girl, listen, you have won a pampering session for you and up to 5 of your girlfriends, as well as a gift certificate. Congratulations. Listen, I can't wait to share some more details with you, so please give me a call or text back. My number is number. Again, congratulations. Then I hang up the phone. Then I go to my phone, and then I immediately send her a text message. The text message is on the booking script. You know exactly what to use. So when I go in and put in my text message, the text message says, hey, Sarah, or hey, Sally, it's Julie with Mary Kay. I left your voicemail earlier today and wanted to make sure you received it. You were one of my facial package winners. Congratulations. Get back with me ASAP for details. If I don't hear from you, I will follow up in 3 days. Now, one thing that I do with my text messages is I fill them with emojis. Like I like to put some fun color in emojis. It makes it more personal. So I do stick a few emojis in that exact script. Now, there are some shortcuts with your phone. That's a whole nother training for another day. Ask your director, ask your national, how do you do those shortcuts to where literally I don't have to type that out every time. Now, I know I can copy and paste, but if I'm on day 3 on one person and day 2 on another, I don't have to go find the script. So I can literally go in and go use the shortcut method through my keyboard. I type in, script 1, it automatically populates the script. I put the girl's name in the script and hit send. Okay, again, a training for another day. If you don't know how to do it, ask your director. Your director can come ask me if she doesn't know how to do it, okay? So you literally called day 1, hung up the phone, and then immediately sent her text message. On your card at that point in time, you're going to list on here, as you can see, I put the date, 1/10. I sent her, left her a message and left her a text message. I highlight in yellow. And then what I do with this card is then, because today is the 21st, I would then count 2 days, so not the 22nd, not the 23rd, but I go the 24th and stick it in my box. And I'm done with her. Unless she comes back and asks me some questions. Then I can go back. I can tell when she asks me, when she messages me back, because it's time stamped on your phone. So I can look and see, I talked to her on the 21st, I answer her on my phone, and then I go to my box and I pull it out and make notes if I need to, okay? I can also double check my phone when I'm making my phone calls to make sure that I didn't forget to write it on my card. But most of the time I've been writing on my card. So day 1, then you skip 2 days as far as contacting that one person. She goes in on the 3rd day after that, okay? Then you go through your day calls of that first group of 10. Tomorrow will be the 22nd. I'll go in, pull out my next 10 leads. I will call through those 10 leads. They're all the first contact because I've just started this process. Again, after I'm done with the 22nd, I won't put them on the 23rd or 24th. I'll put them on the 25th and I'm good to go. So it's the day you called plus 2 days. So whatever day you call, skip 1 day, skip 2 days after that. So really it's 4 days out. The day you called plus 3, if that makes more sense to you, okay? You put your card in there. Then day 3 rolls around, I pull out my 10 cards, I make my calls, I send my texts, I move them in my box, okay? Then day 4 rolls around. Guess what happens in day 4? You have the cards from day 1 in there that either you have heard back from, you haven't heard back from, whatnot. You then are contacting them a second time. This is your second contact time. So then you're going through and you're reading a script that goes like this. Hey, Sally, it's Julie with Mary Kay again. Just wanted to follow up with you regarding you being one of my winners. I have an awesome prize and some free products waiting on you. Please connect with me when you can. Girl, I know life is crazy and you are probably super busy, so I will follow up with you again in a couple of days. If I don't hear from you, click, then I send a text message. The text message is very similar to that. It basically says, if you don't call me back, I'm going to call you again, okay? It's not that you're going to be a pest, but you're telling her up front what to expect. Now, at this point in the contact game, I then send them a copy of my electronic business card. So what is an electronic business card? It is literally a picture that I created on PicCollage or whatever you have that you make your programs with. It has my picture and then my contact information, my name, my phone number, my email, my website. It lets them see that I'm a real person. I'm a normal person. They did meet me at some point in time. They see my face and they're like, oh yeah, that's who she is. So on that second attempt after the text, I send my business card. Just because it's easier for them to put my face back in front of them. I file them. After I do the messages, I count out 2 days and I stick them in my box, okay? Then when you get to day 5, you're pulling out day 2's cards and you're going through the process. What you're going to see happens here is that it allows you to contact these people multiple times. So let's go back to my card. This is just an example of one so that you can see how it is. Here, basically, I contacted her, didn't hear back from her. I did the second contact. I didn't hear back from her. I did the third contact. I even left her the last little pretty text message that basically says, and let me read you what this says. The text message is like, get in your face serious, okay? It says, hey, Sally, it's Julie with Mary Kay. Trying one last time to reach you regarding your pampering session. Please call or text me today for this fun appointment. Listen, if I don't hear back from you, I will assume that you're super busy right now and follow up with you in a few months. But I put in mind that I'm going to pass on their gift certificate on to somebody else. I did tweak that one, I'll be honest with you. I tweaked that one a little bit. I tell them that if I don't hear back from you, I'm going to assume that you're super busy and I'm going to pass your gift certificate on to someone else and then I'll follow up with you again in a few months. What happens is people freak out. They're like, no, don't give my gift certificate away. So at that point, I've been getting a lot of replies. She replied back and said, no, don't get rid of my gift certificate. So then we went back and forth through text message and I actually got her booked. Once I get her booked, I write her down over here, the date, the address. I put on here no gate because here we're in Arizona. We've got a lot of gated communities. So I wrote on there, for my knowledge, that there is no gate there. So that is the actual 21-day booking challenge with this one person. It took me actually 6 contacts till she finally contacted me back and I got her booked. Then after that, sticking with my same box, as you can see, I jumped ahead. Her appointment is on the 4th of February. It's where I have it written down. So I jumped ahead on the 26th. I went and did a follow-up text with her, okay? So I would go in and do a follow-up text with her. So when I literally moved her to the 26th of my box, I'll pull her out on the 26th. I'll call her, hey girl, I'm super excited about your party or your facial. I can't wait to meet with you. I just wanted to check in with you, or it might be a text, just depends. I write it on here, 126 follow-up text. Then 2 days before the appointment or 1 day before the appointment, her card will now be sitting in 2-2 in my box, and I'll pull her card out. I'll call her and confirm that her appointment is going to hold. Then after that, I know that her appointment's on the 4th, so I'm going to go a couple of days after the 4th. I'm going to stick her on the 7th. So when I pull out the 7th, her name is in here. I'm like, oh, I just had this party with her. Let me call and follow up with her appointment. Make sure she was good. She goes in the box again. Then I check in with her a couple of weeks later. After I do that, I pull the card out and I staple it to her profile card and she's out of my box, okay? She's completely out of my box and gone because I've already held an appointment with her, I facialed her, and I moved her. But it gives me a date and time, when to follow up, a system follow through with her, and then I'm just constantly going through this process. Now, a couple questions that come from this. What happens if I had made it through these 3 calls, she didn't reply, she reached here, nothing from her, birds chirping, creak, 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 creak. She then goes into my last attempt folder. I stick her in the very back of my card. That's why that's at the very back. I just stick her back there. Because what that means is she has not responded to me. I'm putting her in the back. So next month, at the beginning of the month, so February 1, I'll pull those last chances out. I will get them, and I'm going to sprinkle those last chances throughout the month. I'm going to put a couple in each one of the days. And I'm going to reach out to her one more time. Just one more sweet message that says, hey, girl, I really want you to take on your pampering session. If she doesn't answer me then, ladies, I tear her lead up and I put her in the trash. I know you're thinking, oh, don't do that. But sometimes we get so many leads, we won't make the calls because we have so many of them. It feels amazing to tear her up. And you know what I say? Wrinkles to you. She looks like that piece of paper when I'm done tearing her up. And in the trash she goes, okay? Not that she's not important. It's just that she's not interested in my opportunity, okay? So I wanted you to know what I do with that. Or she may reach back and say, hey, Julie, I'm really crazy busy right now. Can we maybe get together in March? Will you reach out to me in March? Then I stick her in the March folder. So that the first of the month, I pull everybody out of March and I look at when I contacted her and I figure out where in that month I'm going to contact her through the process. So that way there's a follow-up cycle through the process of what I do with her through the process. Now, the last little piece that some of you have asked me. All right, so I had 10 on the first day, 10 on the second day, 10 on the third day. In the process in there, I've had some people tell me I'm not interested. I booked the appointment with her. So if I get to the 15th of the month and I pull my cards out and I only have 5 cards in there, then what does that mean? That means I've got to go to my bag of leads and I've got to add 5 more to it. The goal is to make 10 calls a day. So if I've only got 5 cards, I've got to add 5 new leads to the process so that I'm making 10 new leads a day. Ladies, I hope this makes sense to you. I am going to post the links below so that you can click on them and actually retrieve the scripts and stuff. If that doesn't work, just ask your director about it. She has the lead. She has the link. She's got the script she can give to you. So I just encourage you to make a commitment to yourself that you do not miss a single day. That's been my downfall. I've started this process several times. I would do it 3 or 4 days, and then I would get out of sync. Part of it was because I didn't feel good about the system. I feel great about my box. I love my box. Now, if you're an I personality and you want to decorate your box, more power to you. My box works for me. I can cycle through it. One thing that I do is if I realize that it's going to be a busy day and I'm not able to sit at my desk and make the calls, I can pull my 10 calls for the day and take them with me. And I can make the calls throughout the day. But I do not lay my head on the pillow at any given night that I haven't made my phone calls. Ladies, it doesn't matter what time of day. Don't get hung up on that. You don't need to think, I need to call everybody at night because they'll answer better. It's not the case. Call when you have scheduled in your schedule to call. Trust me, I've done it for my 21 days. It feels great to not miss a single day, not a single day. The last piece of this that you need to know though, and I'm just going to be honest with you, this system is not going to work if you don't have someone to be accountable to. I know that we think we can be great and accountable to ourselves, but I'm going to encourage you, it's not. Find someone that you can go to and say, hey, can I send you a text message every day that just tells you when I've done my calls? My person was my national. I reached to Holly and said every day, I would say, day 1, calls done, this many bookings. Day 2, calls done, no bookings. Day 3, calls done, tore up 2. Like I gave her just a quick synopsis. And every day she would come back and say, good job, good job. But here's the thing, even if she doesn't come back and say good job, that's not her responsibility. It's mine to be accountable to her. So I encourage you, I hope this makes sense to you. I hope if you have questions, ask your director. She can help you through the process. But oh my gosh, the 21-day challenge with my revision of the box has worked amazing for me today. So God bless. I hope all is well. Happy booking. Get your date books filled.